surprise team of the week here. And
how are you picking this week, big dog?
Well, you'll see. You'll see. Trust the process here.
All right,
With
okay. Calm
the
down,
first
Philadelphia.
pick of the episode 108, three guys talking about podcast draft. The first pick is, can Ethan get 2 in a row?
2 in a row.
Actually, no, he
for
cannot.
Me. No.
And then second pick is Ethan. And the third pick, Grant, what do you have a guess of which hat you are?
Well, based off the first two helmets you pulled, I think it's a red one, but I guess we'll see.
Wrong.
Oh, the Bills.
Oh, Buffalo.
Yeah,
okay.
If your team won, you got the helmet.
If you lost, they picked the team that they lost to.
Yep. So, thank God I didn't have to pick the.
I was actually thinking you might do that. I was like, he's going to go back and see which team, who they last lost to, and that was going to be the helmet you'd use.
Nope.
I thought that. I was right for a third of it, and if we're playing baseball, I'm in the Hall of Fame.
That is true, but you're not in the Hall of Fame for the podcast picking.
Nope.
So, my surprise team is a team that played Monday night. It's the New York Giants. Now, we talked about it as we entered the show, and I don't know if Tommy DeVito is the long-term answer. I don't know if he's a franchise quarterback or what his NFL future holds.
Oh, he's
damn it is fun to watch. The team rallies around him. The fan base loves him. They got the Sopranos theme sync going on as he runs out. The Italian fingers, whatever that is. His dad kissing anybody in sight. The tailgate that they have, the DeVito family tailgate looks incredible. Just an Italian spread. And they're playing hard, confident. They just went down the field. They didn't get rattled. They went and led a comeback, come from behind victory after the Packers scored. Tommy Cool just went right down, got him into field goal range, kicked the game-winning field goal. This offense has some type of pulse. Saquon Barkley looks like he's having fun again. And Brian Daboll's showing why he's a head coach in the league.
You know, I think it just comes down to this. Their uniforms they had were absolutely beautiful.
They were great.
With the Giants written on the helmet, the light blue, with the red stripe and the white pants. If there's one thing we've learned this year, boys, it's the NFL needs to go back to the old uniforms. The uniforms of the 80s and the 90s are so much better than the garbage we have these days. I mean, I'm sitting here watching the Eagles this week and last week thinking, their uniforms suck compared to the Kelly Greens. Like, they're awful.
And people consider the Eagles jerseys, like, they're not terrible, but when you compare them to the Kelly Green jerseys, they're awful.
Oh, they look like the worst jersey in the NFL compared to the Kelly Green. But yeah, those Giants uniforms just looked absolutely beautiful on Monday night. And teams this year are playing great. I think only one team has lost in a throwback uniform this year.
I wonder who that would be.
It was Tampa Bay when they wore the creamsicles against the Lions.
Oh, that's a shame.
Didn't we lose versus the Bears in our purple?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
And then against the Bucks too. So shit. But same thing. Those purple, so much better than what the Vikings have nowadays.
Oh yeah.
And they lost to the Bears too, I think, in those.
Yeah,
jerseys,
you're right. So the Vikings are 0-2 in their throwbacks.
Yeah,
but even then, those are better than what the Vikings have now with their normal purple these days. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm here for the throwback jerseys.
All of them.
All of them. Which,
Dylan, bringing up the Bears, that takes me right to my team. We're going to the Windy City. Honestly, they should have beat Detroit in Detroit. They screwed the pooch on that one. But they beat the hell out of them on Sunday. Forced 3 turnovers, held Goff to 161 yards total. Running game, I don't even think topped out. Or they went 140 for running, so good run. But when you throw 2 picks, you put the ball on the ground, it doesn't matter how much you're going to run it. You're not going to be able to score. Justin Fields is starting to look like the guy. Not like incredible, but gets the job done. 19-33 for a little over almost 200. Actually, I think take that back. Without the sacks, I think he did throw for 200. Yeah, 223. So, also ran for 50. Foreman ran for 50. So they averaged almost 5 yards a carry. And against that defensive front, the line there, that's pretty damn good versus the Lions, I'm going to admit. But Bears are looking legit. They're looking better. And the Lions are exactly who we thought they were. They're not the team that everyone thought they were elite. They're the Lions. And until they prove us otherwise, that's how it's going to stay.
And they got bailed out, too, by the Giants beating the Packers.
Yep.
Which gives them a little bit of breathing room here in the North race.
I don't think so. If the Vikings win out, they win the thing. They win the whole division.
Well, yeah, they do have 2 games against the Lions, but
and then against Green Bay.
Yep,
that's right. The Vikings are still.
Vikings are much more of a threat right now.
They're still in second place.
Can look even decent because with this defense, they really have to score probably 17 to 20 a game to win.
I think
you're right.
And with how good this defense is playing, 17's the number because
I think so.
They'll give up yards this year, but they're going to make people kick field goals. And even if you score 1 touchdown and kick 3 field goals, that's only 16. So 17's the number. But also, guys, what's crazy? Chicago is still going to have the number 1 overall pick, and even though they're, like you said, Ethan, they're playing better. So maybe they trade that for a king's ransom for some team who wants a quarterback. Because maybe they sit back and they're like, Fields isn't horrible.
Maybe they take Panthers' next pick. Like
exactly, or who knows? Maybe they shock us all and they take a wide receiver number 1. They're just like, hey, DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison with Justin Fields. Who knows? Let's get frisky with it.
I mean, they could legitimately almost be 500 based off their schedule. At the Browns.
Coming up, yeah.
So at the Browns, which is probably a loss. Home versus the Cardinals, I'll give them that. Home versus the Falcons, I'll give them that. At Green Bay, and I think right now they're playing better. I mean, I know I talked Green Bay up last week. They looked awful on Monday night versus the Giants. So, I mean, why not the Bears?
That's 8-9. If you're 8-9, do you really need a new quarterback?
No.
Or do you just continue to build around
that defense?
You build the defense, get another left tackle, another guard, maybe another weapon on the outside.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think it's possible.
Maybe Ryan Poles
still get a quarterback. Justin Fields ain't gonna do nothing. We've seen enough.
That's a discussion for later days. But
that is.
We're gonna stay with the quarterback room here, boys. And I'm gonna give this guy flowers because he needs it. Joe Flacco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco. Let's go.
Let's leave it to the playoffs.
Let's not forget this
all over again.
The former Super Bowl MVP coming out of nowhere like he did in that Super Bowl run for Baltimore. I mean, from the pickleball court to the football field, this guy looks incredible.
His deep ball is still as good as ever.
It's as good as ever. It's probably the best in the NFL. And it's the year of the backup quarterback. And, on Sunday, Joe Flacco, a nice 26 for 45, but 311 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's unheard of. He's been in Cleveland for like 12 days. He's probably still living at the downtown Marriott or somewhere, or wherever the American in Berea, whatever city the Browns are in. But for him to really come off the bench and play this good is just truly incredible. And also do it without Nick Chubb. Because that Cleveland offense over these last years is power running game, play action pass off this. You think without Chubb and a quarterback who's been there, like I said, for 12 days, they'd be dead in the water. But Cleveland's 8-5, and Joe Flacco, he might bring these boys into the playoffs. And what's also impressive is David Njoku on Sunday had 6 catches, 91 yards, and 2 tutties. Joe Flacco looked like he was throwing to Dennis Pitta again in Baltimore. We've seen this song and dance before, so watch out for Cleveland in the playoffs. But man, I can tell you what, Joe Flacco deserves his flowers, and I'm going to give it to him this week as my surprise player of the week.
Well, I also had him on. He's playing at that was the thing back when he was on the tail end of his career in Baltimore. The discussion was always, was he an elite QB? And he's playing like an elite QB right now.
100%.
And you got to tip your cap to Kevin Stefanski. They are the 8th team in NFL history to win a game with 4 different starting quarterbacks in a season. Give the man an extension and give him and should be in the coach of the year consideration.
Who's been the 4 so far? I know it's Deshaun, DTR, Flacco.
PJ Walker.
That's right, PJ Walker. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Your point. Take Kevin Stefanski off the hot seat. Give that man an extension and maybe some just for men. His salt and pepper beard is becoming more salt. Come on, can we get some just for men there in Cleveland?
Well,
come on, Kevin.
You have to remember, Grant. He is in the state of Ohio, and there is also another coach who uses a lot of just for men, and he coaches in Columbus, Ohio. So there's probably a very limited supply of just for men in the state of Ohio.
Oh, because it all goes to Columbus. That's fair.
But,
also, I think dealing with number 4 as your quarterback might do that to your beard too, a little bit.
Yeah, that is true. But hasn't had to use it. Hasn't it?
No.
Or just coaching for the Browns in general. That has to do it too. But
also, let's give Kevin Stefanski his flowers. Hiring Jim Schwartz this offseason. Jim Schwartz, not a head coach in the NFL, but he's a hell of a defensive coordinator.